Hey everyone, just a quick reminder. Only about 25% of you watching are subscribed to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, hitting that subscribe button would really help the channel grow. And while you're at it, smash that like button too. It helps a ton, and lets me know you're enjoying the content. Thanks for being here, and let's dive into the story. Listen, I ain't one to turn down easy money. So when my buddy Dale told me Bass Pro Shop was hiring night shift workers, I figured, hell, why not? I like guns, I like fishing, and I like getting paid to do nothing. Sounded like a dream job. Now I know what you're thinking. Frank, what kind of work does a Bass Pro Shop even have at night? Well, turns out they still got a bunch of live fish, and someone's got to feed 'em and clean up after 'em. That someone? Apparently me. So I show up at 10:45 p.m. in my best work attire. Camo Crocs, a Coors Light t-shirt, and my lucky Bass Pro hat that I've owned since high school. Manager fella named Terry hands me a clipboard with my duties and guidelines, which, and I kid you not, looked more like a damn survival manual than a job description. Rules for Bass Pro night shift. Feed the fish at 11 p.m. sharp, but not the big one in the back tank. He's on a special diet. Check the taxidermy displays. If any of the animals look wrong, reposition them. If they blink, walk away. Ignore the man in full camo if he waves at you. He is not a customer. If you hear duck calls after midnight, do not answer back. Never, ever look into the store's fishing pond after 2 a.m. If you see movement in the water, turn off the lights and leave the area immediately. Now, I consider myself a simple man. I drink beer, I watch NASCAR, and I don't overthink things. But even I had to pause and reread that list. I look up at Terry. This some kind of corporate hazing thing? Y'all got a hidden camera somewhere? He don't even blink. Just claps a hand on my shoulder and says, "Just follow the rules, and you'll be fine, bud." That's never a good sign. But hey, I need the job, and I'm too dumb to be scared. At least that's what my ex-wife always said. So I tell Terry, yeah, whatever, and he leaves me alone to start my shift. So first things first, I grab the bucket labeled fish chow, do not use for big tank, head over to the giant fish aquarium, and start tossing in the pellets. Now I know these indoor aquariums got some big old fish, but Bass Pro's tank? This thing's like a full-blown redneck SeaWorld. I'm talking massive catfish the size of Labradors, alligator gars that look like they crawled straight out of Jurassic Park, and one big son of a bitch lurking in the back, barely moving. I squint at him. Dude's huge, like could swallow a child size. But remember the rule, don't feed the big one. So I do what I'm told and skip his tank. And I swear to God, as I walk away, I hear a deep, wet, throaty growl from behind me. I turn back. Big fish hasn't moved. Okay, maybe I need less beer and more sleep. All right, time for rule number 2. Check the taxidermy. Now Bass Pro Shop's got a whole damn zoo worth of mounted deer, bears, ducks, and even a full-size moose in the camping section. So I make my rounds, staring at all these glass-eyed bastards like I'm waiting for them to blink. At first everything seems fine. Then in the hunting aisle I see a stuffed coyote standing on a fake rock. Something about him don't sit right. I step closer. His head's tilted weird. I check an old picture on the wall showing the store's grand opening. The coyote's head ain't tilted in that picture. I feel a shiver crawl down my spine. All right. Maybe I'm just paranoid. But just to be safe, I reach out and nudge his head back into place. I take a step back, nod to myself. All good. Then I turn to leave, and I swear I hear a quiet, dry chuckle behind me. I freeze. Turn around. Coyote's mouth is open. It wasn't open before. Nope. Hell no. I ain't paid enough for this. I walk away fast, telling myself I imagined it. Now I'm back at the registers, snacking on beef jerky and watching fishing videos on my phone, when out of the corner of my eye, I see movement near the camping tents. I glance up. Some fella in full camouflage is just standing there waving at me. Like, full ghillie suit camo, like he's about to go sniping in the woods. Now, rule number 3 says to ignore him. But see, here's the thing about us rednecks. When someone acts weird, we stare even harder. So I look at him. He waves again. Slow. Too slow. Like his arms on a delayed timer. Okay? Maybe he's just some dude who got locked in after closing. I check the security monitors. He's not there. Like, at all. Not showing up on the cameras. But I can still see him with my own eyes. My stomach drops. I look back up. He's closer now. Same slow wave. Yeah, nah. Nope. Nuh-uh. I grab my Bass Pro issue walkie-talkie and mumble, "Hey, Terry. I think we got a situation." Terry's voice crackles through. "Did you wave back?" "What?" "No." Terry exhales. "Good. Keep it that way. Go to the break room. Now." I don't ask questions. I book it to the break room, slam the door, and lock it. I'm sitting in the break room, heart pounding, trying to convince myself this is just one big prank when, quack, loud as hell, right outside the door. I freeze. Quack, quack. Rule number 4. If you hear duck calls after midnight, do not answer back. The thing is, I ain't gotta answer back. Because the door handle just started turning on its own. The door handle jerks violently, rattling in its socket. I do what any self-respecting redneck would do in this situation. I grab the biggest knife I can find from the break room kitchenette. Now, I ain't the brightest, but I know one thing. Ducks don't open doors. And yet, the handle keeps twisting, slow and deliberate, like whoever, or whatever, was outside knew I was in here. Then, just as quick as it started, it stops. Silence. I don't move. I don't breathe. Then, quack, right outside the door. I swear my blood turns ice cold. I ain't afraid of much. Hell, I once tried to fight a full-grown alligator with nothing but a beer bottle. But this ain't normal. I slowly back up, gripping my knife tight, waiting for the next move. Then my walkie-talkie crackles to life. "Frank." It's Terry, my manager. His voice is tight, urgent. "You still in the break room?" Yeah, I whisper. "Listen, man. I think we got a duck problem." "Don't open the door." That shuts me up real quick. Terry takes a deep breath. "How many quacks did you hear?" I count in my head. 2 at first, then 1 right outside the door. A pause. "Okay, good. You got lucky. Stay put for 5 minutes. No noise." "What the hell is out there, man?" I whisper. "Some kind of mutant goose? A government experiment gone wrong?" Terry doesn't answer for a long time. Then he mutters, "You ever heard of a lure duck?" I frown. "You mean like a decoy?" "No, Frank." His voice is dead serious. "I mean a thing that sounds like a duck but ain't a duck." My stomach does a little flip. "And what happens if I open the door?" "Don't worry about that." Yeah, see? When your boss tells you don't worry about that in a haunted-ass Bass Pro Shop, you start worrying real hard. After 5 minutes of sweating bullets, Terry finally tells me it's safe to leave the break room. I crack open the door, peek outside. Nothing. The store is quiet again. No sign of the door handle jiggling quacker. I exhale and make my way back to the registers, trying to act like I didn't just almost die via supernatural poultry. And for a little while, everything seems normal, until I pass the taxidermy section again. I glance over at that stuffed coyote I adjusted earlier. His head's tilted again. And this time? His mouth is open wider, like he's grinning. I stop dead in my tracks. That wasn't like that before. I rub my eyes. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Then, right as I turn away, I hear it, a soft, dry chuckle, like a man laughing under his breath. I whip around. The coyote's mouth is shut again. Nope. Nope. Hell nope. I speed walk my ass out of there like I got bees in my boots. I make it back to the front registers and slam my hands down on the counter, shaken as hell. I grab my walkie. "Terry, I swear to God, one of them stuffed animals just laughed at me." Terry sighs. "Which one?" "Coyote." Another long silence. "All right. New rule for you, bud. If the coyote starts laughing, leave the room. Immediately." I blink. You telling me this just now? You ain't ever worked here before, Terry says. I didn't want to spook you. Buddy, I am beyond spooked. I am currently at damn near about to piss myself level of spook. Terry snorts. Welcome to Bass Pro, Frank. So at this point, I'm officially done with this place. I'm standing behind the counter debating whether or not I should just walk out, lose my paycheck, and pretend this whole night never happened. When I remember rule number 5, never look into the fishing pond after 2 a.m. I glance at the big Bass Pro wall clock, 1:59 a.m. Okay, no big deal. I just won't go near the pond. Easy. Then, bang! Something slams against the glass doors at the front of the store. I jump, nearly knock over a whole display of Yeti coolers. What the hell was that? I squint at the entrance. It's dark outside, and the store lights make it hard to see, but there's a shape standing just beyond the glass. Tall, humanish. At first, I think maybe it's some drunk dude who wandered over from the gas station next door. But then, it moves. And I swear to God, it has too many joints. Its arms bend the wrong way as it raises a hand and slowly, presses it against the glass. I swallow hard. Then I hear a noise behind me. A soft splash. My stomach drops. I know where that came from. The fishing pond. I check the clock. 2:01 a.m. Oh, hell no. I grab my walkie. Terry, something's in the pond. Static. Then in a low, urgent whisper. Look. I grip the counter, breathing hard. Behind me, I hear another soft splash. Then something even worse. A wet, slithering sound. Like something is crawling out of the water. I freeze. That wet, slithering noise behind me? Yeah, that ain't normal. I squeeze my eyes shut and clutch the counter like it's the last solid thing in the world. Terry's voice crackles over the walkie. Frank, listen to me. Whatever you do, don't turn around. Yeah, no shit, Terry. I can hear it moving, something big and dripping wet dragging itself across the tile floor. The smell hits me next. Thick, murky, like a swamp left to rot in the sun. Then, it breathes. A deep, rattling inhale, and it's close. Real close. I swear I feel its breath against the back of my neck, hot and damp, like the inside of a gator's mouth. Every instinct in my redneck brain is screaming, "Run, Frank! Get the hell out!" But my feet won't move, and then it speaks. You fed the others. My skin goes ice cold. The voice ain't human. It's deep, like something speaking through a tunnel full of water. You forgot about me, Frank. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. My heart's pounding so hard I swear it's gonna bust out of my chest. I don't know what's standing behind me, but the way it says my name, it ain't the first time it said it. You didn't follow the rules. I shake my head fast. No, I did. I fed the fish, just like I was supposed to. Not me. The thing shifts, the wet sound of its limbs dragging across the floor making my stomach twist. You didn't feed me. That's when it clicks. The big one. The one fish I wasn't supposed to feed. My pulse jumps. I break rule number 5. I turn my head just slightly, just enough to see its reflection in the glass doors. And what I see? Ain't a fish. It's something worse. A humanoid shape, but wrong. Too tall, too stretched. Its skin black and slick like it was skinned out of an oil spill. And its mouth, oh shit. Its mouth is wide. Too wide. It opens and doesn't stop opening, stretching its jaw all the way down to its chest, exposing rows of jagged, needle-thin teeth. It doesn't have eyes, but I know it's looking right at me. I jerk away from the glass, heart hammering, hands shaking so bad I can barely grip my walkie. Terry. My voice comes out barely above a whisper. What the hell is this thing? Terry's voice is tight. Frank, listen close. You need to get to the hunting section. Right now. Why? Because if you don't, it's gonna eat you, bud. Now, I ain't a genius, but I do know one thing. If your manager tells you to run, you run. I spin on my heel and bolt for the hunting section, sliding across the tile in my Crocs like a damn Olympic sprinter. Behind me? I hear it move. It lets out this horrible wet screech like someone dragging a shark across asphalt and lunges forward. I ain't gonna make it. I know I ain't. Then, boom! A gunshot rings through the store. I nearly eat shit trying to stop, arms flailing like a drunk deer. The sound of something big hitting the floor behind me sends chills down my spine. I whip around and Terry's standing there holding a goddamn 12-gauge shotgun. The thing? It's on the floor, twitching. Black sludge seeps out of its gaping mouth as it lets out a rattling, gurgling sound. Terry pumps the shotgun and spits on the floor. Damn fish! What in the actual hell is going on, Terry? I shout, pointing at the abomination flopping around like a dying catfish. Terry sighs. That, my friend, is why we don't feed the big one. Turns out this ain't the first time someone forgot the rule. Terry explains while we both watch the thing convulse on the floor. Bass Pro got this fish years ago, some kind of deep-sea bastard no one could identify. Every time it got fed, it got bigger, smarter. One day it just stopped being a fish. I stare at him, mouth open. And corporate just lets it live here? Terry shrugs. You ever wondered why this store is the only one open 24/7? Oh, I don't like that. The thing on the floor starts twitching harder. Terry grabs my arm. Come on, we gotta get out before it wakes up. Wakes up? I sputter. You shot it in the head. Terry gives me a grim look. Yeah, that ain't enough. We make it back to the break room. Terry slams the door and starts loading more shells into his shotgun. I collapse into a chair, still trying to process the fact that my job at Bass Pro Shop involves fighting Lovecraftian fish demons. All right, Terry says. One last rule, Frank. Maybe the most important. I blink at him. There's more? Terry leans forward, voice deadly serious. When your shift ends at 6 a.m., leave. Do not stay late. Do not clock out a minute past. No matter what you hear, see, or feel, get the hell out. My stomach twists. Why? Terry shakes his head. Because if you're still inside when the sun comes up, you don't get to leave. I gulp. Loud knocking echoes from the front of the store. Terry and I look at each other. We don't move. More knocking. Then, the voice. Frank. My blood runs cold. I'm still hungry. The thing at the front of the store knocks again. Frank. My stomach clenches like a fist. I don't move. I don't breathe. Terry doesn't either. We just sit there, listening. The voice is wrong. Too deep. Too wet. Like someone trying to talk underwater. And it sounds amused. Like it knows we're in here. Like it's playing with us. Then, slowly, the knocking stops. Silence. But I know better. It ain't gone. Terry finally exhales, running a hand down his face. All right, change of plans, he mutters. We're leaving. I blink at him. I thought we weren't supposed to stay past 6? That's if we make it to 6. He grabs a flashlight and shoves a pistol into my hands. You ever use one of these? I scoff. Terry, I live in a single-wide trailer with a Confederate flag shower curtain. What do you think? He grunts. Good. Then don't shoot me by accident. That's when I realize something. Wait. If we leave now, won't that thing just follow us? Terry stops. He doesn't answer. Which means he don't know. Which means we're screwed. We step out of the break room real slow-like, weapons raised. The store is quiet. Too quiet. The lights flicker overhead, buzzing faintly. We make our way toward the front exit, weaving through the aisles of camping gear, fishing poles, and overpriced coolers. That's when I hear it. A soft, wet, dragging noise. My blood turns to ice. It's coming from somewhere between the shelves, something big moving in the dark. Then a new sound. Tap, tap, tap. I stop dead. Something's knocking on the glass of the aquarium. I look at Terry. Terry looks at me. We don't move. Then, tap, 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 louder this time. And from inside the tank, something laughs. I slowly turn my head toward the massive fish tank. My breath catches in my throat. It's empty. No fish, no water. Just an open tank, drained dry. My knees go weak. Terry, where the hell are the fish? Terry swallows hard. I think they're out. I don't like that answer. Then we hear a sloshing sound behind us, like something wet stepping onto dry tile. I don't turn around. Terry does, and what he sees makes him go pale. Frank. I grip my pistol tight. Yup, run. I take off sprinting, Croc slapping against the floor, Terry right behind me. We don't look back. We don't slow down. We just run. The thing chasing us? It's fast. It moves like a man, but wrong. Too smooth. Too liquid. Like a shadow trying to hold shape. And the worst part? It's laughing. Low and guttural, like it's having fun. We tear through the aisles, knocking over coolers, fishing rods, taxidermy animals. Then, from up ahead, a second voice. Frank. I nearly trip over my own feet. It's in front of us, too. There's more than one. Terry grabs my sleeve. This way. We veer left, ducking behind a rack of hunting jackets and crossbows. Terry shoves a shelf down behind us. Crash. Metal and plastic explode across the floor, blocking our path just as something lunges from the shadows. I catch a glimpse of it. Tall, wet, no eyes, a mouth that stretches from ear to ear. Then we keep running. We make it to the gun counter. Terry leaps over first. I scramble after him, knocking over a rack of camo shirts in the process. I look up. He's already loading a shotgun. Get ammo now. I ain't gotta be told twice. I grab 2 more shells and toss them over. Then from behind the counter, I hear tap, tap, tap. My stomach drops. We slowly turn our heads. There, on the other side of the glass, standing in the middle of the aisle. 3 of them. Just standing there. Watching us. Grinning. Frank, one of them whispers. I'm still hungry. Terry lifts the shotgun. Boom. The glass explodes, shards, raining everywhere. But when the dust clears, they're gone. Not dead, not wounded. Just gone. Like they were never there. Terry breathes hard, lowering the gun. All right, new rule. I wipe sweat off my forehead. Hit me. He exhales slow. If you see more than one of them, you're already dead. I don't like that rule. I don't like any of these rules. I grab the walkie and press the button. Hey, Terry. Yeah? I quit. We wait another 15 minutes before making a move. The store is quiet again. Not safe. Just quiet. Terry nudges me. Clock says 3:15. We can wait till 6, or we can risk it and leave now. I rub my face. I don't know. Staying might mean we get trapped. Leaving might mean we never make it out at all. I check my ammo. 3 shots left. Terry looks at me. Well, Frank, what's it gonna be? Terry's staring at me, waiting for an answer. I check my ammo again, like 3 bullets is gonna make a damn difference, and wipe the sweat off my forehead. Stay or leave. Neither option sounds great. Staying means we risk whatever the hell happens if we're here past sunrise. Leaving means, well, I don't actually know what it means. And that's what scares me. Terry shifts his grip on the shotgun. You decide, Frank. You want to wait it out or you want to make a run for it? I take a deep breath. Then, from across the store, tap, tap, tap. That damn noise again. And suddenly, I ain't in the mood to wait anymore. We're leaving, Terry nods. Then let's move. We creep through the store real slow-like. Guns ready. The place is quiet. Too quiet. I feel like I'm in a damn horror movie, and we're in the part where the killer's about to jump out. My gut is screaming at me to turn back, but I ignore it and keep walking. We're almost to the front doors, when Terry suddenly grabs my arm. Wait. I stop. Terry points, and that's when I see it. The pond. I swallow hard. It's full again. Black water, rippling ever so slightly, like something just slipped back under the surface. And then I notice the smell. Rotting fish, muddy riverbanks. Something old. Something hungry. Terry tightens his grip on the shotgun. Don't look at it, Frank. I tear my eyes away and keep moving. We make it to the front doors. Terry reaches for the lock. Almost there. I exhale, relief flooding me for the first time all night. And then, the glass fogged up, like someone was breathing on the other side. And slowly, a handprint appeared. I feel my blood go ice cold. Terry stops dead. Then we hear it. A voice from outside. Frank. I grab Terry's sleeve. We gotta go, man. Terry doesn't move, just stares at the glass. Another handprint smears against it. Then another, and another, until the whole damn door is covered in grimy, wet smudges. Then the voice speaks again. Come outside, Frank. We're waiting. Terry finally shakes himself out of it. Back. Break room. Now. We sprint, back to the break room, slamming the door behind us. Terry paces, running a hand through his hair. They were waiting for us. No shit, buddy. I lean against the table, trying to catch my breath. What now? Terry exhales. We stick to the original plan. Stay till 6. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like this plan, but I also ain't got a better one. So we sit there, listening to the faint tap, tap, tap on the glass doors. Waiting. Praying. An hour passes, then another. Nothing happens. Terry dozes off for a bit, shotgun across his lap. I just sit there, staring at the clock, waiting for 6. Then, something slides under the door. I jump up, heart hammering. It's a note, scrawled in smeared black ink. I pick it up with shaky hands. Only 4 words. You should have left. The store is silent. Terry wakes up, rubbing his eyes. Almost time. I nod, stomach twisting. We wait. 5:58, 5:59. Then, 6 a.m. The moment the clock ticks over, something shifts. The air feels lighter. The silence isn't as heavy. Terry stands up, stretching. We're good. Let's go. I don't move. Something don't feel right. I grab his arm. Wait. He frowns. What? We gotta check the doors first. He hesitates but nods. We make our way back to the entrance. And sure enough, the doors are wide open. Just open. Like they had never been locked at all, like nothing had ever been there. I stare. Terry stares. Neither of us move. Then, from somewhere deep in the store, a whisper. Frank. I book it out of there so damn fast I trip over my own Crocs. Terry ain't far behind. We burst into the morning sunlight, gulping in fresh air like men who just escaped prison. And as soon as I step onto the pavement, I feel it. Like I just barely made it out. Like if I had stayed even a second longer, I wouldn't have left at all. Terry quits the same day. I do too. We don't talk about it. We don't go back. Hell, I don't even drive past that store anymore. But sometimes, late at night, when I'm home, watching TV or cracking open a cold one on my porch, I'll hear it. Somewhere, off in the distance. Tap, tap, tap. And I know it's still waiting. Waiting for some other poor bastard to clock in for the night shift, and this time, I ain't gonna be there to help.